What's up, guys? Welcome to the Kind of Funny Gamescast special, where we are going to break down and analyze our thoughts, review, if you will, the Ubisoft E3 2019 press conference. I am Tim Gettys. This is Andy Cortez. That over there is Greg Miller. How you guys doing?
Hot.
Doing pretty well, though.
Yeah.
Aside from the weather in San Francisco.
Way too hot in San Francisco. We're all melting.
I feel like I was a little bit underwhelmed by that.
Sure. Yeah.
But there was some cool stuff shown. Pretty excited. Yeah.
The real quick thing, Greg?
Yeah, I thought they started it really strong. I thought Watchdogs Legion looked great. We all were into it. And then I think they stumbled from there on out and never got the momentum back up again.
Yeah. I thought it was like a classic UB press conference. It's consistent. We know what we're going to get. We got all those things. A couple new game announcements.
I'm still surprised that Assassin's Creed Odyssey had arguably one of their biggest games, right? In terms of what's going on in an ongoing thing and no Assassins this year. They announce and drop this create your own quest thing for story. It's free. It's out right now, apparently, but they put it in the pre-show.
Yeah.
I would have totally given that stage time over some of the stuff we saw out there.
Yeah, I don't know. But this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. You can get the show each and every week on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. But daily, we have a show called Kind of Funny Games Daily that goes over the biggest video game news of the day. We kind of give our expert thoughts on all that stuff. And we have a couple experts here. Not all of us, though. Luckily, we have the #1 games journalist, Andy Cortez.
I'm here for whatever you need,
for
guys.
all that stuff. We also do a channel called youtube.com/kindoffunny that's a bit more movie, entertainment stuff, just like light comedy.
Yeah.
We're kind of funny. That's all that we are.
That's all we're trying to promise
set the
you.
standards right. But you can follow us right now. If you're watching on Twitch, there's the little heart that says follow Kind of Funny Games. We'd appreciate that follow a lot.
Of course.
But let's just get right into it. Like, our real in-depth thoughts on the Ubisoft 2019 press conference.
I'm depressingly underwhelmed.
Hit us off.
Depressingly underwhelmed. We were getting ready to go in here. I laid out stuff that I thought would happen that I thought would be enough to make it a really solid show. And some of that happened. Some of it didn't have enough panache. Some of it just wasn't exciting announcements based on that. Or it wasn't there at all. I think putting Assassin's Creed in the pre-show was a silly move. I think Watchdogs Legions was an awesome way to start. From there on out, I just thought we were on a rocky thing, right? Where it was the tease of the TV show. I understand you're Ubisoft. You have a lot of cool things going on. You want to showcase stuff. Give us more games before you get to that. That was such a hard stop, weird thing. I didn't think the trailer personally looked that great, and I like Always Sunny. Like it did not make me at all go, man, I got to look into getting Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine. I won't be a part of that. As we talked about, like, Brawlhalla and this Adventure Time stuff. The Ghost Recon Breakpoint isn't my kind of game. I thought that presentation was pretty good. It was a stirring speech from John Bernthal. Then it was weird to have John Bernthal come out and kind of give the speech again, but as John Bernthal, not as his character with his dog Bam Bam. But it was cute to have a dog out there. Sure, why not? The Elite Squad that came thing. There it is, guys. There's Splinter Cell. Sam Fisher not dead. Ubisoft acknowledging he exists in their mobile game, Smash Brothers, whatever they want to call it.
How many other franchises do they put Sam Fisher in before a new Splinter Cell?
I don't know, and that's why, like,
how many are left?
I mean, to jump to the fact again, like, I'm a Division fanboy, right? I love the Division. They came out, they talked about the Division. I was like, yes, awesome, more Division stuff. Here we go. Episode 1 for July, great. New main missions, brand new game experiences. We're going to the zoo. I like all that. We're going to college, great. Episode 2 is coming the fall. Pentagon, a second raid. Awesome information. The episode 3, we're going back to New York. It's summer, great. But they were setting it up like we're going to have a Cyberpunk Keanu reveal or a John Bernthal reveal, right? Of like, we have to go and we're going to take on one. And you got there, and it's just like, oh, we're just going.
A special operative. They kept on like making the point that the person we're hunting down is of.
It almost reminded me.
A name.
It almost reminded me of yesterday during Bethesda when Fallout 76 came out and they showed the NPC start talking, and I got up and started clapping. You guys had no idea why that was a big deal. I think the build up in the reveal there was, hey, we're going back to New York in the summer. Tim, do you understand that that's a big deal because Division 1 was set in the sno and like that in New York?
Yeah, I do, but it's just like I feel like that'd be more exciting to you. That's why I was like that, because I made a reference that it's like that's kind of like in Pokemon when at the end of the second game you face yourself from the first game. Like,
sure,
that's cool, but in Division that seems like that's not exciting to you at all.
I mean, the way they didn't frame it correctly, right? They seemed like they were building up to, and we're gonna go after this person, this celebrity, this star, this whatever.
But I mean, isn't the answer to that you're going after yourself?
No, you're not going after yourself. I mean, it won't be your character. I mean, they're not going to dial into my. How would that work in terms of if you went after
implication, not like the actual character, but just like the idea is like it is your agent or whatever.
Yeah, but if it's not my agent, why would I care? You know what I mean? Like if I get there and it's not my Taylor Swift from the first game,
this is why I disagree with you
about
the Assassin's Creed thing, because it's like I feel like this conference was just a bunch of like, hey, here's updates to all the projects we're working on.
Sure, but
that's what gets hard about.
But you're the student of hype. There's a way to hype that stuff, right? That was the thing. Even for the Division, I just don't feel it had the hype to it. I don't think any of the stuff they did punched.
See, I think that this conference did a very good job of pacing, of getting in, getting out.
Really?
I don't think that the celebrities were.
I felt like that was a long hour and 15.
I mean, I didn't really love many of the announcements, but I feel like they didn't spend too long on anything. I remember a couple years ago for Ubisoft, like even just comparing it to themselves in the past couple years, Watch Dogs 2 compared to Watchdogs Legion, Watch Dogs 2, they did the briefing, then a long demo that was way too long, and then a trailer, and then they had someone else talk again, and then when they did the celebrity stuff, it'd be like, there was always like one segment too much. I feel like they didn't do that. At least everything had a pace to it where it was kind of, someone's gonna come out to announce it, they show something, someone talks about it, and then just rinse and repeat.
I wish we would have started off with Just Dance. I know that maybe they wanted to break the mold and do something
10 years,
different.
man, let's celebrate it.
But I would have loved to have gotten that out of the way and then bam, immediately into Watchdogs Legion. I thought that would have been a cool 1-2 punch.
Sure.
Mostly because, a lot of us don't care about Just Dance, and kind of putting that in the middle was a little bit weird. Kind of threw off the you went to the restroom, like that's sort of the typical Just Dance thing. It's like our break time.
I understand what's happening. Yeah, I understand what they have to do. You're Ubisoft. You make
a lot of money.
You're
on
doing
this game.
it. You're right. This is something they were talking to me about when we were doing rehearsals. The tech guys who were running stuff for EA, right? Of like how this is a broadcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're going broad. Like you need to cover all your bases. We understand that. We talked about this with Bethesda last night and their mobile properties and all.
Are we going step by step on this?
We will go step by step. Right now, I want to keep it kind of broad. I want to start with just the things that I did like. Sure. I liked the new game that they showed, Gods and Monsters. I'm interested. I think that the February 25th, 2020 release date is a lot sooner than I expected the way they were talking about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, there's this project we're working on. And I thought it was going to be more of a Beyond Good and Evil 2 situation where it's like, here's an idea trailer. We'll see when we ever actually get to play it. But February's not that far away, right? Working backwards from that, I thought...
Roller Champions?
Watchdogs Legion looked cool.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, and that's the thing is like, this was kind of it reminds me a lot of the Bethesda conference where it's like, here's updates. Here's a lot of updates on games that you're already playing. And that's kind of Ubi's mantra the last couple years where they've been building for this, right? We got Rainbow Six
Quarantine. That was the next one I was going to pop to. That looks cool.
One was cool.
Three player co-op going into what looks like a zombie or monster kind of thing. Sure.
I think it's good that it's a new game.
Yeah,
and not just
seems like it seems a lot less throwaway than the past. I forgot what the name of the expansion was, but you were fighting a bunch of red monsters. Remember we did that Let's Play in Siege.
No,
I forgot exactly what the name of it was.
Form.
But yeah, them coming out to make a point and saying that, hey, this thing is its own standalone thing, kind of thought from the ground up. We're sort of rethinking the way we approach 3-player co-op.
Sure.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, Top Boog in the chat says, I thought it was Zombie 2 for a second. Well, so did I. Yeah. That's what I thought it was going to be too, and because I was trying to run through what zombie franchises do they have, like what would they actually be going to. Again, Quarantine seems cool. I'd be about it. I'd be down to play that.
Yeah, I like the idea of that too, especially with Rainbow Six kind of Siege over the last couple of years really finding its footing in the same way that For Honor did, in the same way that Division 1 did. Like Ubi kind of has been fostering these projects and growing them. And with Rainbow Six Siege, I think they did a really good job with PvP, but also PvE. And it sounds like with Quarantine, it's like they're kind of focusing more on the PvE thing. So I wonder if they're going to try to keep the Siege fan base growing and then have this game come out as well. And one's more PvE
definitely.
And one's more PvP.
I definitely think that's the case because you saw there was a news story recently about how they were saying they want Siege to go into the next gen, like they plan to continue it on that way.
And they also, when they were talking about Ghost Recon Breakpoint, they came out and said like this game's gonna be going for years.
Yeah.
And it's just like that is very good for the communities, the people that are investing in these games. But I do feel like it's going to lead to these E3 press conferences being less and less exciting year after year. Because at the end of the day, old game is old. So when you are having Assassin's Creed Odyssey being talked about, or Division 2, which is even 3 months old, it just doesn't feel as exciting as if it's a new thing. Like
I hear you, and I again, for a broad term, sure, but I feel like there's a way to deliver that information to those fans that gets them hype. I think there's a way to hype that stuff up and have cool cut trailers and have better descriptions than
if this wasn't it. I don't know that it is. Like do you have any solutions?
I think the content drop for for Division 2 in particular, right? The stuff they talked about after the game launched, then they came out and did like the whole, all right, agents, here's what's next, yada yada. Almost like state of play for PlayStation cuts of like what's going on. But like that was better show don't tell.
But I feel like that's for people that are fans of Division. Right.
Sure.
This is for the general audience.
I mean, I disagree. I mean, like that presentation was not for the general audience. That was patch notes, right? We're going to the zoo. Do you give a shit? Like, do you understand? Like when they showed the slow montage or not even slow, but the quick montage of new places, that doesn't ring to you that's new, that's different, that's exciting.
I mean, I just don't know how they could have shown that otherwise, unless it was just a CG trailer. Because there's a balance between dumbing something down so much so that everybody understands it and having it be exciting to people that are already invested. But I just feel like we're just going to hit a point that year after year, Ubisoft's conferences are going to get less and less focused on new experiences and more just like, well, here's some incremental updates to things. And
Here's
I feel
how
like
we're continuing this service.
And, it's
that's
telling
E3 in general, right?
that,
As we've talked about.
But I mean, I think it's Ubi's E3 in particular, right? UB and Bethesda, I guess, are the two. But
no, EA, dude. Like, I mean, what? The Battlefield 5, Battlefront 2, like that is literally them bringing out these devs and FIFA.
Well, EA didn't have a
Apex
conference.
Legends.
Though.
Yeah.
EA didn't have a conference. EA was like, we're just updating these. We're giving you updates on these games, and we're going to do that in a much more deep dive developer way.
Sure.
Whereas this was, hey, we're going to make announcements. We're like, this is Ubi. I think out of all of them was straight up like, this is a traditional E3 press conference.
And I don't think that works anymore.
Yeah,
if you're
I
gonna
don't
have it
either.
like this, right? Like, this is the thing. And granted, if you're new or just want it spelled out, because we are so try to be so clear with ethics. Obviously, I hosted EA Play. I got paid for that. So if you don't want to take my opinion about it, I understand 100%. However, for what if you're comparing Ubi and EA that way, I prefer EA. I would have preferred Division to come out and be like, cool, we have 3 minutes of whatever, 5 things we're going to show you for a 15-minute demonstration of running through and not even explaining, maybe showing us.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what it looks like to fight in the zoo.
I think it sets expectations differently, where we see this giant stage, we're expecting these, kind of giant reveals.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it worked out for Ubisoft this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a year it worked out better, though, like in the last couple of years. I feel like it's always just been the same thing. All the hype moments, like, oh, Beyond Good and Evil 2, great. We see this thing that isn't even here. And that was 2 years ago that that we were all surprised to see it.
Yeah.
Joseph
People started
Gordon-Levitt.
giving that fucking game of the show. So you don't do that. That game's not coming out forever.
Yeah, it's just.
It's like a 2021.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Especially with how they were talking about it. Adventure Time in Brawlhalla is just a weird call.
Yeah.
I made a joke that like that show's kind of been over for 5 years, and chat was like, no, the show ended last year. Yeah, but like at its highest kind of popularity, it was like 2013, 2014. So I just don't really see the relevancy in introducing characters like that. I guess it's cool for people who care about Adventure Time and the fact that it's a free-to-play game you can play as your favorite characters or whatever, but I just think it's a weird call. I guess we're judging all this kind of based on the fact that Cyberpunk introducing Keanu Reeves, like the hottest thing on the market right now is Keanu Reeves. Yeah. And like, I guess comparing that to like Adventure Time, like what could have been the hotter commodity?
And I do talk about it like in the stream when we were reacting to it, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. I like the John Bernthal stuff, right? Like Wildlands didn't click for me. I want to know more about this. If it is a narrative-driven thing and he's actually in there and they're telling us more of a story about it, I'm interested enough to give this Ghost Recon a shot. Breakpoint, right? I
think that the Watchdogs presentation was the best presentation of a game we've seen so far at E3.
Yeah. I mean,
that was fantastic.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Like that game looks incredible. And again, really cool. Just the ambition of this game where if you were to have heard this game as a concept, you would have said, there's no way that's possible. Like the budget on this has got to be insane. Yeah. How are they going to fund this? Where are the sort of limitations that we're not seeing from the surface level? Like, it's because they've got to be cutting back somewhere else on the project. Sure. It looks fucking awesome though. Yeah. Like I think that game looks really cool.
And I think there's a reason it's one of the best presentations we've seen, right? Because there was so much gameplay in it. Like actually let us see the games. And I understand we've talked about this each one of these reviews for Gamecasts that we're in a weird part of the life cycle of these consoles right now and games in general, where it is ongoing games as service, and then it's a bunch of stuff we're ramping up for 2020 as we get closer to that console life cycle switchover. And so to see a game come out and be like, here's all this gameplay of it, that goes a long way, and that's what I want to see out of these things.
Yeah, see, I think that like not all games can be treated exactly the same because especially where all the developers are at, all the console manufacturers are at, and I've seen a lot of people criticize us and our in our feedback yesterday to the different conferences on like, oh, like if it doesn't have gameplay, they don't like it. And it's like, oh, they're hypocrites if they like this CG trailer, but not that. It's like for game announcements, like things like Deathloop, it's like we can just see a CG trailer and understand like
this is a brand new IP and it's exciting.
It's exciting there's a new IP. And we're excited about that. We're not excited saying it's going to be the best game ever. You know, but then for games that are like closer in release, like Gears 5, it's like I'm disappointed we didn't see gameplay because we should have seen what we just did for Watch Dogs 4 Gears.
And we saw Austin Creed though.
And we did see Austin
Creed.
Yeah, beautiful.
But I feel like with all the games it's different. I think that Watch Dogs really nailed it where they had a trailer that looked cool. They showed gameplay that backed it up in a moment-to-moment way that you're like, all right, I believe this.
This is how the game works.
Yeah.
Right?
And so I think that was really cool. But But yeah, it's just weird because so many of these announcements, it just kind of feels like, oh, okay, we're just doing it. It's copy and paste as usual. And I feel like this is the first E3 in a while where conference after conference, it's just like the question isn't, oh man, who won? It's like, did anyone win?
I don't know.
Sony for not.
It's just like
The only way to win is by not playing.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Everybody
like,
kept posting the meme of like, you can't disappoint if you don't have a conference.
yeah, I don't know. I don't like that mentality either though, because it's like these people are showing up and like there is cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like just because there's a lot of meh stuff around.
There's a lot of
it.
cool
I don't mean to
stuff
toot
with a
our
lot
own
of filler.
horn. We're 2 hours away from the Kind of Funny Game Showcase. Is Kind of Funny about to have the best press conference? We'll see.
We'll see.
I invite you all to live stream it and then do a post show where you just tear it apart like we do. Like we do every one of these things. I don't like that game. Not enough gameplay. Too much gameplay.
Yeah, I don't know. So far, just ranking the conferences to you guys. Like, what do you think?
I think Bethesda's far and away the winner. I think it was the one that had the interesting reveals, went through everything quickest at the best pace. Again,
Awesome
they had
Doom
that
stuff.
Wonder Book moment in the center, right? Though, as I'm, the iOS stuff they did last night. I think that's the only thing where I was like, Mwah. You're like, okay. Are you counting EA Play, or is that you're talking about
No.
conference? Cool. So then I think it's Bethesda. Then I think it's Microsoft. Then I think it's Ubi.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I think the fact that we got really awesome stuff that we knew about already, right? We got cool Doom looking stuff. We got Wolfenstein, Youngblood,
Yes.
New Blood, Youngblood.
Youngblood.
But then the fact that they introduced these brand new IPs that look incredible, I think that sets them apart from the other conferences where a lot of the unknowns that we got weren't that cool. They weren't as cool as what we got from Ghostwire Tokyo or from Deathloop.
yeah.
Man, I'm never gonna remember that name.
I
tough
agree
for some
too.
reason, too,
That it
right?
goes Bethesda, Microsoft, and Ubi, but I don't think it's far and away that Bethesda's number one. I think it's like a lot closer than that. Where Xbox had some cool moments, but they just none of them were like that.
I mean, they had the best moment, the Keanu
With
moment.
Keanu, but it's like,
Yeah.
but even that, like, that's just it's a weird thing that we're just excited that an actor's in a game. Because, like, how often has that turned out well? I feel like this is the example that it will.
Yeah,
like,
but
I believe in CD Projekt Red and I believe in Keanu and them working together. Like, seeing him come out on stage and the energy and, like, that was the direction they let him go. I'm like, all right, I buy this.
It's it's the fact that it is the most anticipated game probably of the whole conference. Probably for all of E3, right? This is the game that people are looking forward to the most. I'd say, like, this is the one of the most hype around it, and the fact that they got, the hottest commodity on the market right now in Keanu, I think it's
What we want out of E3, right? It is a crazy left field surprise, and I feel like we used to get more of those, and it varies year to year. But I mean, the further back you go, you know what I mean, the fewer leaks there were, and it was a bigger deal that this shit was happening.
Yeah.
And here we are, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, this is an E3 that feels predictable, which is never fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool to see the games you love updated, right? But it is the things that you don't see coming that you're the most excited. It's always the same way of, like, as a kid, you want to, peek in your parents' closet and find out what your Christmas presents are, but then that ruins Christmas morning. And so when we are here and it is what you think and it's a little bit different, and it's like, okay, like, you could if you were to take out the Gatorade get hype moments we like to insert and dream about, right? I think we could plan most of these things pretty much beat for beat, right? And understand where we're going to net out on it because you just dial it back.
Yeah, I'd say Keanu was like the biggest surprise. Second biggest surprise, the fact that Flight Simulator was on stage.
Sure.
How is this game?
It looks great.
But it's just weird that it's on stage in
The
2019.
chat's very divided about ranking the three that we're talking about.
Sure.
Here. It seems fairly evenly split on
Microsoft
what order they go in.
really?
Like, yeah, there's people that are even saying Ubi. So yeah, I mean that's interesting. I wonder. So we have two more. We got Square and we got Nintendo.
Yeah.
Square's going to be interesting. I'm very interested in the format of it. So it's called Square Enix Live. So I wonder if they're going to have an on-stage press conference, and if so, is it going to have this kind of flash and grandeur that we've seen from Microsoft and Bethesda and Ubi? Because as far as I know, Square's never done that. They've always used the other guys, like the PlayStation or Xbox stages, to have those big moments. They've done live stage shows, but it's kind of just looks like they rented out a hotel and stood on stage and awkwardly presented things.
I mean, you raise a great point. I didn't even think about it. Has anybody? I don't think I ever got an invite for a Square thing to go
invite,
to.
yeah, I don't know.
Is it just gonna be a direct?
Last year it was a direct. Like last year it was straight up
I assumed it was
no one was even on camera. It was just kind of like trailers and stuff, right? And it was horrible last year. But this year we know we got Avengers. We know we got
Final Fantasy
7 remake, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of that through. I've been getting so much. Our, of course, kind of funny correspondent, Snow Mike, also on Twitch. He's out there for us, beating the pavement, going to these things for us. I didn't even think about that. Is there one for Square? Very interesting. Wow.
Revamp says, "What if Chris Evans shows up? Like that would have been a cool moment if an actor of that sort of caliber.
It goes like pitch black, and he's here, Avengers, and he comes out solo spot, Assemble. Hey everybody, I'm Chris Evans here to talk to you about this game that is not tied into the MCU at all. This is very confusing.
I'd cry, dude. I would cry.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
No,
be awesome.
Not a chance. Not a snowball's chance.
What if Stan Lee comes out, faked his own death, getting ready for this?
Whoa,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
But hey man, anything can happen at E3.
Wow.
So now let's just go step by step.
Are we doing the beat by beat here for Ubi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number one, we start off with the Assassin's Creed Symphony. You know, at this point, kind of we've seen symphonies before. Zelda did it back in 2014, I want to say, for Zelda's 25th anniversary. That was hype. I was there. In
PlayStation did it for
lost my mind.
that one
PlayStation did it
God of War.
2016 with God of War, and throughout the entire show. That press conference was pitch perfect. Like, I don't think we'll ever get that magic again.
I agree.
Where it's just the entire thing was hyped. There was big surprises. Crash Bandicoot was there.
Of course,
and they had the orchestra playing all the music, and every single major game had a big set piece on stage that was like a production. That was really cool.
I mean, I hate to say it about Ubisoft Symphony, but I mean, it was bittersweet.
There you go.
But that's
bittersweet Symphony. I thought that it was very poorly mic'd, and it just kind of
in the beginning
flat.
I thought something was wrong.
Yeah, like it just didn't sound great, and
I
don't
the
think
video
it sold
guy
it
didn't
as well.
start the video on time.
Yeah,
the composer was kind of waiting around for a bit, waiting for his cue.
Not my favorite thing, and I like those.
And you love symphonies.
Yeah, musical interludes and stuff. But I do appreciate Ubi's kind of love for not just the games of video games, but like the culture of video games. And they always do these type of things that celebrate music in different ways, or like their communities or their developers and all that. So that stuff's cool.
Come on, when they got to the Ezio theme, though,
that was hype. I mean, but that again, it's like the Master Chief, like in Halo 5. It's like hearing Halo music. You're like, this is cool. Hearing that song, it's like, this is cool. But let's move on.
I forgot the name. Unlikely something on Twitch chat says, kind of funny showcase. Save my E3 with a Splinter Cell reveal.
No, we're not doing that. No.
Oh, man, I was gonna kind of like hint as if there might
I don't want any. I want no expectations.
Expectations, right?
It's 4:30. That's less than 2 hours from now. YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames is the Kind of Funny Games E3 showcase. More than 60 indie games. That's it.
Confirmed. No Splinter Cell.
Okay, no Splinter Cell. No Death Stranding.
So then, Watchdogs, March 6th. Also coming to Stadia. Most games shown today also coming to Stadia.
Later than I thought it would be. I thought that was going to be a fall game this year. Watchdogs.
Because there's no Assassins?
No Assassins. I thought they were just going to do a big thing. Doesn't matter, obviously.
There was a Schreier article that came out beforehand that said, like, this game is taking a lot longer because of the complexities in it. You know,
and I mean, like, again,
the studio wasn't expecting it, or you know, they kind of ran into a lot of roadblocks.
Again, I like what I saw when on paper when Jason reported on at Kotaku and we read about it. It was like, so there's no main character. You're controlling NPCs. Like, I don't get what's happening. But like Bagley talking to them, kind of like Charlie, and they're all your angels. Like, okay, so Bagley's the main character. Yeah. And like, okay, I get what we're doing. I get the direction.
Which is an interesting way to go with it. Because like I was, when all the leaks were happening and the scuttlebutt about what this game is, I was like, how is this going to work story wise? And having that kind of voice be the driving force could be very interesting. I like the varied characters that they showed there. The amount of NPCs that you can make PCs is cool. But yeah, it's the London aesthetic. Never my favorite thing.
Oh, really? I thought it looked awesome.
You're racist.
I mean, whatever. I'll take it. But
the race of Europeans.
It went in a direction that I didn't expect, because I think I might be wrong about this, but in our predictions, I think I predicted that it was going to not be as technically advanced looking as Watch Dogs 2 was, and I was totally off.
Yeah.
Like it went way further into that stuff.
Yeah. Which is great.
Which I think is a good
cool
thing. Yeah, because it does at least give it a unique look for the world that they're showing off there.
Yeah, it was like going from Advanced Warfare or Modern Warfare to Advanced Warfare. Like, suddenly the technology is just so, like, at least 50 years in the future, it looked like.
So
looking at that from what we saw of Watchdogs Legion, do you think that it can be the Watchdogs that breaks out?
Great question, Tim. I don't know. The problem with not having a anchored main character is that then you just lose already a narrative thread to it. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they go through it. When I'm watching that, it's giving me vibes of Peace Walker or Metal Gear 5, right? Of recruiting people and bringing them back to my base and finding different people with it. If that experience is fun, if they are varied enough, if it is just something that you're having because I was joking around about it, but for real, I'm gonna try to build a team that's just old women. Just find me a bunch of old women and what can we do and play a very specific way. If I'm already thinking that, all the many people who are way smarter than me on Twitch are also thinking of that, of like, what is Doc Disrespect's crew going to look like? Like, right? What is he going to try to run through and have? There's going to be people
non-mobile gamers for sure.
There's definitely going to be teams that are, they just want those MI6 operatives, that they just want, people who can be crazy acrobatics, that they just want hackers. Oof. I think it's a really interesting way of putting it up against like what you want and what kind of team you want to be.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen that are watching in the Twitch chat, thank you very much for following along with us. Stay tuned. We will be back later for the pre-show for Square Enix. But if you want to keep watching all of our content and following along with us, click that follow button right there. Kind of Funny Games on Twitch. We do shows that aren't just about E3. We do shows all year round, daily content. It's great. It's fantastic. Thank you very much for giving us a chance.
Bye, I love you.
Yes. And now we continue on our beautiful show here, Kind of Funny Gamescast. So sorry to cut you off there, Greg.
You're fine, dude.
I think it's hard to say. I don't think it will, and I think I don't know if the sort of casual gamer who's playing Call of Duty all the time sees a game like this and buys in. I don't think it's a breakout hit. I do think it's weird that not having a main protagonist, that I feel like that takes away
it just becomes hard to sell, right?
Yeah.
Like, and look at it the opposite way, where like now, and granted not the exact same, but we're looking at Breakpoint, right? And I'm like, I know I didn't like Wildlands enough to play through Wildlands really deep, but okay, John Bernthal, he's cool. Yeah. I like him. Is like, what is it like to chase these guys that are like, renegade soldiers? Like, you've given me a narrative thread that's interesting there. Random computer voice Bagley, like giving us orders. I'm in for it because I love Watchdogs. I loved Watchdogs 2. I want to see what this evolution is. I'm excited to run around and do all this stuff, but it's going to be, how hard is that going to be to wrap your head around and get people going?
Yeah. That's interesting. Then Always Sunny in Philadelphia, we had, what's his name come out?
Rob McElhenney.
There we go.
McElhenney.
And he talked about Mythic Quest, the Apple TV show. Showed a trailer of it. It's video game Silicon Valley.
But it doesn't seem like it has the production quality of Silicon
Definitely
Valley.
not. No.
And so that's what I'm watching. I'm like, oof.
That first shot of him walking out, like into the wherever he was, it looked like, wow, this looks like a cell phone or something.
Yeah, right.
It didn't look very good.
And whatever. We're talking first impressions off it. I thought the logo didn't look that great. Like, and these are little gripes. I don't know. If it's funny, it's funny, and it'll be gret. But
yeah.
If it's also buried on a subscription service I don't know anything about personally, and I don't have any intent.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we got Rainbow Six Siege. We got a new operative.
Operation Phantom Sight starting tomorrow as well. But the Secret Service guy it looked like, right?
Looks interesting.
Yeah, you were saying he's different than what you usually see.
I feel like everybody in this game, has helmets like this Sledge guy does on screen. All these characters, have a certain aesthetic, and this guy totally doesn't fit that. And I think that's really neat. I think that's a smart move for them. Kind of branch out. And I think that's a problem with me because as a big fan of Overwatch, I play Overwatch all the time. You have these very different, distinct looking characters. When I watch our friend Alfredo play Rainbow Six Siege, they obviously know all these characters because of how much they play, but to me, they don't really stand out from one another. And so I think this guy with a mustache and looking like James Bond, there was a very James Bond vibe there.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart move for them. I hope we see a little bit more diversity in how the characters look. Like just wearing weird shit,
Sure. Totally, I understand what you're saying.
And then Adventure Time in Brawlhalla. We talked about this a bit. Didn't do much for me.
No.
Didn't know that game was free to play. But
well, Brawlhalla, if you remember, it's been a weird journey of that thing was at PAX for years and years and years and in open beta for years, and then Ubisoft bought it, and then then it came out and it just didn't seem to set the world on fire because it was back in the day. It seemed like they had the tiger by the tail because it was, hey everybody, it's a multi-platform Smash Brothers. And everyone's like, oh, this is awesome. And they played at events like, wow, this is cool. And then it never came. It's
so
just
what's
like
weird, though, is like the numbers they showed were ridiculously impressive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit, so I guess people are playing it.
I mean, it's like every game, right? I mean, people are playing it. It's always that thing when you don't think it's the thing, but it is the thing.
But like those numbers were like, a lot of people are playing. It was like 60 million or something like that. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
The quiet side of video games. You know what I mean? That we just don't know about. We talk about all these NPD numbers, so it's like we kind of have our finger on the pulse of that, but it's like we just
communities,
don't know.
of course. You can't be tied into it like that.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint. John Bernthal.
Bam, bam.
Bam. September
What if the dog
5th,
would have just
beta.
freaked out, jumped off the stage, bit Yves Gilmore in the face? You know what I mean?
Guy pulls out a knife.
Yeah, beta on
September 5th.
Yep. October 4th release date. They announced this Ghost Recon Delta Company.
Company is a community program.
I put some community bullshit. There's 5 different detachments. Go look into it if you like. You know what I mean? They're getting a post-launch update that'll bring back AI teammates for solo players. I didn't realize that wasn't in this one.
And then Ghost Recon Terminator. All right. A lot of money being thrown around for Dark
Terminator
Fate.
everywhere, man. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
When does Dark Fate come out?
No, I don't know. Nobody's promoting that in anything.
Then Tom Clancy's Elite Squad mobile game. Looks like a strategy RPG.
It's like a Go series. It looks
Tom,
like a...
The visually it does look like the Go series, but it looks like the gameplay is similar to the Rabbids game. No Nintendo collaboration. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Then
I feel like we had it
go.
too good last year with
Star Fox.
Yeah, with Mario. Yeah, well, what Star Fox was last year. Mario Rabbids was 2 years ago.
yeah.
Right, got it.
Star Fox was great because it was so unexpected.
Right.
Then yeah, Just Dance 2020. I thought that was a fun little commercial for it. I thought that was like the best way they could have possibly shown Just Dance to people. That
And what did
do
you learn
not
about
care.
me during that?
You love the High Hope song.
That's not. Yeah, but and what happens
And when you die, I need to make a montage set
making
to
sure
that.
we're all set.
Yeah.
Got it.
Little let down that Old Town Road wasn't played.
And just
Hey,
an
we still got other
update.
conferences.
Just an update. Team Yachty and Team Pain tied.
Wow.
Oh my
3-3.
god.
Crazy stuff.
That's some crazy stuff, but not as
never talked
crazy
about it.
as our ads. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission free. While the brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy to understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stock collections such as 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood's giving listeners of Kind of Funny Games Daily and all of these shows a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at games.robinhood.com. That's games.robinhood.com. And also, shout out to 23andMe. Father's Day is right around the corner, and 23andMe's Health and Ancestry Kit is the perfect gift. For a limited time, get $50 off a 23andMe Health and Ancestry Kit through June 17th. If you buy a kit for yourself too, you and your dad can connect and celebrate your shared genetic similarities and differences with over 125 personalized genetic reports on health, traits, and more. Greg, you use 23andMe. How easy
Sure
was
did.
it?
Oh, it's so easy. I got to find out I'm very white.
That happens.
A lot of European stuff happening up in this
guessed.
place. Who would have thought? You know what I mean?
Never guessed.
You can discover how genes can influence well-being and lifestyle choices with insight into genetic, weight, muscle composition, sleep quality, and more. Trade reports give insights into how genetics can affect your mosquito bite frequency, motion sickness, fear of heights, and more. That was my favorite thing about when I did it, getting all these random fun stats. It was kind of like beating a video game. And at the end, seeing all-
You see, like,
know?
how many times did you throw a grenade? Or
Exactly.
whatever?
And I'm like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
So this Father's Day, you can get $50 off 23andMe's Health and Ancestry Kit at 23andme.com/games. That's the number 23andme.com/games. Again, 23andme.com/games. Offer ends June 17th.
I'll tell you what I'm really excited
Here
about.
we go,
Something,
guys.
something I easily forget. You know, with all this E3 hype, the hustle and bustle, in August, we're getting Control.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
buddy.
going to be awesome,
buddy.
dude. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
wait to play that damn game.
You know what else?
What?
Not as exciting, but it's exciting to me. Today, that Ghostbuster pack dropped in Rocket League. I'm pretty stoked about
got
that.
it.
I want to try to platinum Rocket League because people always said people always say it's an obtainable platinum.
Okay.
And now Ghostbusters car there. I'm like, I'm actually gonna try.
That's just, it's fate. Kismet.
For Honor, limited time game event, Shadows of the Hodokiri until June 27th.
Cool.
Go get him, For Honor.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Quarantine, 3-player tactical co-op PvE, spring 2020.
Cool teaser trailer.
Yep.
The woman from UB Montreal seems like she got a good head on her shoulders.
Yeah.
Cool
hair.
Cool hair, indeed. I
Cool
like
eyebrows.
the idea that of what she said, right? Like Rainbow Six Siege did what Siege did for PvP, we're gonna do for PvE. And I'm like, as a person who
That's awesome.
really only wants to play PvE, 100% in. Yeah, that'd be awesome to sit there and actually get into with Andy over here. Or should I say Nitro Rifle? Somebody steal that man's glasses. He still doesn't answer me on Twitter where he got them.
Where is he? He wasn't even on camera anymore.
He was when he sent it.
Got it.
Words.
Then we got
He looks so thirsty.
Division
so
2, June 13th through 16th. It's free. And then I just wrote expansions.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my dog in my lap, and then I'll give you the whole rundown here on what you need to know, okay?
New MENA missions, brand new game experiences.
What a hot
This
little
is
doggo.
you, this is Pentagon.
All right, yeah. So you play for free June 13th through the 16th. That'll be interesting to see how many more people get in there, how many new people in there. Of course, there's a kind of funny clan. If you're going to be committed all the way to the end, let us know. We need to boot some people I think who have bounced out.
You better not boot me. I know I'm not playing.
Are you ever going to come back?
Look, I didn't boot you or Jen from the Destiny clan.
Oh, shoot.
You better not boot me.
Because I'm coming back to Destiny now.
Whoa.
You heard about this.
Okay.
Are you coming back too?
I might too.
Come on, that's what I'm talking about. Episode 1 coming in July. It's got a new main mission, brand new game experiences, it says. Of course, this is DC Outskirts Expeditions. It's taking us outside of the city. We had known that was happening, that we know that was episode 1. We didn't know where we're going. Now we know. National Zoo, Kenley College. National Zoo seems like it's more of the same stuff. Kenley College seems like it's exploration, combat, a mix of more things. Hopefully more like the quarantine zones that are currently in the game, which are more like little narrative puzzles than are, actually getting into the shit of it and stuff like that.
Do you want me to fill up a water for him?
Sure, he's got a bowl, but you know how he is. He never drinks. Bear, you want to fill a water for the dog? You know what I mean? Thanks, Big Bear. We love you. Episode 2 is coming this fall. We're going to the Pentagon. Also known, but we did not know that this is when the second raid will drop as well.
I want it clear, if you didn't watch us doing the watch along, you can go to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames to watch that. When they showed the Pentagon, Greg clapped and then said, "It looks like an anus."
Right.
Pull up a picture of the Pentagon.
Also, he got in my face.
He
got right in my
Here's what
ear.
I want you to do, Kevin. Pull up an overhead image of the Pentagon and tell me that doesn't look like an anus. Okay. And if you say, I don't know, afterwards I will show you my anus. And you will tell me if that looks like the Pentagon.
I'm glad we're not on twitch.tv/Twitch
You know what? Maybe that would have gotten us some subs. You never know. You know what I mean?
I very much doubt it.
And then episode 3 is Manhunt. Is a Manhunt. It's happening in New York. It's in the summer. I thought it was an awkward build up to that trailer, just because the way they made it sound, and we all talked about it, it made it seem like it was going to be a reveal of a real person, an actor, or something, like, you know what I mean?
Wow, that is an anus. You're right.
Thank you very much, everybody.
What is wrong with his buttholes?
That's an anus.
That's an anus, man.
That's an anus if I've ever seen one.
Thank you very much.
Tim,
Thanks, bud.
It's anus.
you guys are
Thank
all
you, Tim.
fucked.
And so then
He's
it
a
wasn't.
fucking walk of water.
It was the reveal that it's in New York. Of course not. It's in New York. He's Portillo. You know how he is. New York in the summer. So we're going back to New York for the first time in Division 2 timeline. It won't be in the winter anymore. And when we were like, oh man, it sucks that they're not building up to a real person. Everyone in the chat is shouting out that it's Aaron Keener, who's a person in the division that is like in the lore of the division of Division 1 on how this all happened. Yes, guys, we get that. I understand. That is an even more obscure reference that isn't getting people excited. The way they built up to that, we were talking about was going to be another person, like a John Bernthal thing, which clearly in the year of John Bernthal and fucking Keanu Reeves isn't unheard of, that's what we were talking about or what it seemed to be. All of this news is good and interesting, and I'm in for it. I just feel like it should have been a teaser trailer than this guy coming out talking about it and us going back and forth. It should have been the polished usual division, like, what's up? Hey, agents, here's what's happening. Have Isaac fucking say it. I'm in for all of it, though. Super excited. They also said that the movie is still going on. Jake Gyllenhaal, Jessica Chastain, and it's coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
Cool cast.
Yeah.
Great. Then Uplay Plus on PC, $14.99 a month, free in September if you sign up now. It's coming next year for Stadia. So. Okay.
Another subscription service that's like, we always talk about cutting the cord, right?
Yeah.
And that's becoming less and less of a thing.
Yeah, you just keep subscribing to all these
you're
different
gonna
services.
have 14 services,
Yeah.
and you're going to be paying $140 a month anyway.
Yeah.
But that's, still not buying multiple $60 games.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I do like, of course, it's early access to the games. It's the premium edition of the games. It'll launch with more than 100 games, $14.99 a month. You can sign up right now for free access in September at launch if you go to uplay.com. In 2020, it will come to Stadia. I wonder how long, or I shouldn't say how long, I wonder when it'll actually come to Xbox, PlayStation, because you know that, like, EA, obviously, that is the idea that's already come over there, or is coming over there. It'll be interesting to see when, if it's successful enough to go that way as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
Team T-Pain won.
Shit.
Team Yachty is giving
T-Pain.
$10,000 to Girls Who Code. So I guess second place gives a certain amount, and the first place gives a bigger amount. Girls Who Code, very cool.
Yeah.
10K. Look at Yachty with an Atlanta Braves hat.
Then we got Roller Champions, PvP, Team Sports, out today.
Cool.
Sounds exactly like the
Well,
And
Demo-
now it's
demo's
not,
out
yeah,
today.
the alpha demo is out today.
Yeah.
You can go to the forums and talk about it if you go to rollerchampions.com. Okay.
I'll give it a shot.
It definitely looks like it's trying to do a Rocket League kind of
Yep.
thing, which is fine. Great.
And that's
cool.
Ubisoft. When you look at them now, they kind of just want to have every vertical that video games have to offer that
yeah.
are ongoing platforms. And there's like, we have this, we have this, we have this. Fine.
We have Rollerball, we have a really fantasy, cool looking game, and then we have a bunch of dudes and guns.
And so then, yeah, Eve's Gimel comes out. New project, Gods and Monsters, February 25th, 2020. It's Breath of the Wild, but it's not. We'll see.
It's Gods and Monsters.
Yeah.
It's from.
I'm intrigued, but
That's from the
slow-
Quebec City team. Who are the people who gave you Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is exciting for me. February 25th. Okay, but yeah, looking at it, it was just CG trailer. Looks cute. The woman. It looks like a chibi version of Cassandra. All right, cool.
That slow zoom up just looked like the intro to Breath of the Wild. It was kind of
Yeah.
astounding.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
where it eventually looks over the whole world and you get the title. Yeah, it looked a little too much like it, but I still think it's gorgeous. I love that art style. I'm in for a different experience from Ubi that isn't. Again, this is the team that did which Assassin's Creed?
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for them to and. I'm excited that these developers are like, hey, we get to try something else that's different. That isn't just kind of what we've been doing for the last decade or whatever.
Yeah.
IGN is a preview of Gods
and
and
Monsters.
Monsters.
oh, cool.
It's like a very short, like, hey, they got to see a little bit of it, but check it out if you want to see some words. from
Gameplay?
people. I think so. I think
Okay.
they saw a little bit of gameplay.
Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been our Kind of Funny Gamescast post-show analysis of Ubisoft's press conference, but our day is far from over. Later, we will be back live on Twitch doing the Square Enix press conference pre-show, doing the show, post-show. But before that, Greg, what can people do?
At 4:30, an hour and a half from now, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames for the Kind of Funny Games E3 showcase. More than 60 indie games for your viewing pleasure. It's a YouTube premiere, so that means if you went there right now, it's already up. You can click on it and just wait in the chat with other people. We will not be streaming it on Twitch. We're letting other people handle that. I know Easy Allies is doing a watch along. If you want to watch with people, that'd be a great place to do it. If you want to have it open, or at least the YouTube chat open, you can be talking to Kind of Funny best friends over there as well.
There's
We ask
already
you to please-
761 people watching right now.
Please promote this, get it out there, get the link shared and stuff. We're obviously just a bunch of people in a non-AC conditioned apartment here trying to do this. And it's not even, I don't even mean like, hey, promote us and subs and shit. I mean, like, these are 60 independent developers that I can't tell you the amount of times I've gotten emails and tweets back from these people talking about, like, we've never dreamed of being in an E3 showcase or an E3 press conference. This means the world to us. So I'd like to take care of all of them.
And shout out
There
to
we go.
Dr. Thunder, Waramara, No Cool Beck, Forums, for all the subs today. Beautiful. Calvin Coffee, Spice Runner. Thank you so much for giving us your Twitch Prime love, or just your Tier 1 love, whatever. We appreciate it. It helps. It keeps the lights on, Greg.
It does keep the lights on, everybody.
But now let's turn the lights off. 'Cause
But not
it's
the AC
really
on.
hot.
Oh, God, let's get the
I
hell
love you.
out of this
We'll
oven.
see you later.